Today, I'm standing right in front of this door. Behind this door is basically the game room. It was inside of that room is where we spent much of our time watching movies, TV shows, playing games, and watching YouTube videos. Yeah, behind that door there are many surprises. But this is our game room. And I'm going to show you what's inside. This is what it looks like. This is our game room. The window, fan, setup. There's everything right here. Not that much big of a surprise at all. Here's much of what it looks like. Yeah, the game room in our house is pretty cramped. But that's the way we live. We're going to be showing you much of what was here. Starting with this spot. This is where a lot of miscellaneous stuff sit here. Starting here, we have this stand containing random stuff. Here, this is a cookbook, a Mad magazine. Not sure why we have it, but it's just there. We also have this old iPad. This used to be my iPad back in the day. I first got this thing around 2013, and I spent much of my childhood playing with this thing. Spend countless hours with all those mobile games. This old iPad is already outdated, so yeah, I decided to retire this thing. Doesn't work properly anymore. I don't think so. We also have this empty iPad mini case, black, and we also have this power cable, which belongs to the boombox right down there, the Sony boombox. I'll get to that later. We also have a few masks. And yeah. And this is an old iPhone 6 case. And some empty blank cards. We also have a nightlight down here. And this thing. There's my kitty cat. Somehow found her way in this place. Can you move? Okay. Over here we have a Jesus picture. A pair of glasses. These are my glasses. I rarely wear my glasses. There's some pens and pencils and more stuff that no one cares about. Okay. Over here we have this weird dinosaur shaped thing. Plastic dinosaur. And okay. Over here we have other stuff. There's an 8-ball. And I have 2 alarm clocks. Yeah, I have 2 alarm clocks. This one both of them my mother purchased both of these alarm clocks during her trip to Vietnam. Well, yeah, and these were basically like those little souvenirs of hers from the time when she visited Vietnam just last year. Thanks, Mommy, for these clocks. This one happens to be styled off of Doraemon, a popular Japanese anime character. Here, just a strange 8-ball. Not sure why, but this alarm clock was just an ordinary random alarm clock. The other one's just modeled off of Doraemon, and these two seem to be entertaining to watch. Tick, tick, tick. Look at that. Here is the Crystal Jesus. This was pretty special. I just had it here because it looks cool. And I have some of this useless stuff back there. This is just to clean off the dust off the couch. This is sanitizer and whatever that was. Here I have the Geniani, or I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but this is a small humidifier, and I don't know why I have it here, but yeah, I just think that it looks cool sitting here. So this is our little humidifier, shaped like an egg, by the way. This, you could just turn it on by just tapping the button there, and it blows out some steam, I think. Well, it looks like steam, but yeah, it's just a little humidifier. Over here is we got some Heineken, a box of Heineken beer, and this bag. Inside this bag, we have tons of these cat food. Cat food is for my cat, who's sitting right there. Sometimes I feed her some of these. Underneath the Heineken box, are two of these old computer engines. Both of these old computers are basically, well, they're just old computers, obviously. This one happens to be the older one. We got this computer around 2013, and well, it was also, and later on I stopped using that one. When I got this computer, I started using that one and stopped using that one. This was my brother's old computer, and this was my old computer. My old computer is here. This belongs to my brother, and this one is mine. Both of them, we don't use these computers anymore. They're pretty old now. But yeah, this was my old computer, and this was my brother's old computer. Both of them, they don't work properly anymore, and so we just stopped using them. They both also use our Windows 7 computers, so they're pretty useless by today's standards. Over here, we have this lovely mini fridge with some, we have a Hollywood pin and more various other metal pins. We got this one here from our visit to Legoland in Florida, and we have a cat bed sitting up here. Behind this fridge, there's various foods. There's a frozen food there, some water bottles, Heineken beers. We got some beers, ham, milk, more bottles. But speaking of the beers, sometimes my dad often whenever my dad buys beer, he often shoves them in this fridge. The only time he ever came into this room is just to grab a beer can. In here, I have a whole bunch of this junk. A whole bunch of wire stuff. A mouse, a PS2 controller down there, a NES Zapper, NES Classic Mini, the Smash Bros for 3DS, a keyboard, other computer components, keyboards, and a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here. That's what I have up here. For the middle spot, we have all sorts of media. We have CDs, tapes, that's just a bunch of music. There's some books. We also have like a controller down here, more tapes in there, and other stuff. And down here, we had more media. This book is filled with a whole bunch of DVDs. And we also have a Good Burger DVD. We have 5 Switch games. And some PS4 games. I haven't played them yet. I also have a whole bunch of VHS movies. We have Home Alone way down there, GoldenEye down there, Men in Black, RoboCop 3, Top Gun, Terminator 2, Shrek, RoboCop, a documentary, World at War, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, Ghostbusters, Backstreet Boys, Blues Brothers, and RoboCop 2 down here. We also have some manuals right here. Not sure why, but just books. Let's just put this back. Okay, and we also have some Lego books down there, and an old computer speaker, and a paintings laying down there. We also have a 3DS, which is basically a 2DS XL. 3DS is discontinued. Nobody plays with that shit anymore. And that's all we have in here. Here, this is our Elastifan. I had this thing for about 2 years and still works. Just gotten a little dusty. Over here, this is our TV stand. There's not much to it, but I will go through much of it. These are the PS4 controllers. Both of them are like sitting on their little charging station. Of course. I have a Roku remote with the little console sitting like over here. Might be hard to spot, but everything here is black. And I also have a Samsung remote, which belongs to this TV. Well, speaking of this TV, my parents got this TV as a prize after they won a game show. Probably from like back in, I think 2012 or something. So basically, I had this TV for about 8 years, and it still works. Yeah. I'm pretty proud that they've won this thing. Because we needed more TVs and shit. More TVs. There's a Nintendo Switch. Had this thing for 2 years. Older brother bought it. And we played a lot of it. There's cat food. Along with the bowls where my kitty cat eats out of. Down here is the PlayStation 2. This is my third PS2. My first PS2 was, well, we got our first PS2 way back in 2004, but it belongs to my big brother. and somehow me and Jesse as babies broke it. We got another one which is back in 2012 during the last days of the PS2 before it became discontinued. That one stopped working. And now this is our third PS2. I got it for my 14th birthday, and the disk drive doesn't work anymore now. So it's just decommissioned sitting there. Here is an old laptop, an old mini laptop. No one cares. This is a VCR. Well, we bought this VCR from Goodwill for about, I think, $15-20. And we also have this old Sony boombox. We also got it also from Goodwill, also for about $15. We also got this VHS tape winder, also from Goodwill. And we got this PlayStation 4. I had this thing for about 3 years, and it's still working, and it's still okay. It has a... If you're wondering why it had a passport plugged into it, that was because my brother was trying to record videos on it. And, you know, had a little setup of trying to record his gameplay videos on PS4. And now, over here, we have a trash can. This is where I throw all this junk in. Over here is our couch. We just got this couch months ago. Still, it's very comfortable to sit on it. It's not really comfortable to sleep on it, but it was enough for sitting. I had this Mario blanket. This thing's pretty old, but it's still just a blanket, you know. I could still sleep with it. Had this thing for a long time. And I also had this MacBook. I just got this MacBook weeks ago. And yeah, I just started using a Mac, by the way. It's quite a unique, different experience. But it's quite interesting though. Here we have the stool. Why I have the stool for? Well, when I sit down and relax, I can just use the stool to put my legs on it for relaxation. We don't have, and yeah, that's all. We don't have much things in the game room, aside from the fact that we do have that one curtain. It has holes on it because my cat destroyed that curtain by just simply sticking her head through. The plastic on these blinds are very fragile. So when my cat stuck her head right through the blinds, she kind of wrecked it up, and they came off afterwards. Fragile plastic, super cheap, they suck. Yeah, my naughty kitty just destroyed it just by sticking her head right through it. Mainly just to watch the nature outside or something. Spy on birds. Don't you think so? Don't you ever get any better? Well, there's not much here in the game room, but this is all I have. Back here, we have a Philadelphia Eagles shirt. Not sure whose signature that was. And I also have this calendar. Don't know why I have it. Well, not much here, but this is all we have. See you later.